Take two on recording this. So, hi, my name is Elliot. For those that don't know, first video here. I'm gonna post an intro video later on, but this is a video doing a couple readings here for somebody that requested them. You know who you are. And it looks like you requested 3 different readings. So we have 2 of them for tarot specifically, and then 1 for oracle. And last video I actually shuffled everything, pulled everything out, and then scrapped it because last video looked terrible. So I've got everything pre-shuffled, laid out, and I'm just gonna go over what I pulled, my interpretation of it. So let's get started, I guess. We can start with your energy reading, which was specifically what your energy is looking like right now. And I kind of based this off of the 7 chakras. So I pulled a card for each chakra to kind of point out what your energy looks like for each one and, you know, what you need to focus on. So 7 cards here for the crown chakra, which crown is spirituality. We have the Knight of Swords. And this is the Light Visions Tarot deck, by the way. So the Light of Swords, or the Knight of Swords for spirituality, there's kind of this battle being waged. And the card, let me pull it back up. The card really kind of depicts that, is that there's, over here. There's this actual war kind of being waged where the energy I'm getting here is that you just don't know what you believe. And you know that you're a spiritual person and you're into, you know, astrology and divination, and that's all, you know, it's very interesting and fun for you, but you're not quite sure what to label yourself. And I feel like that's kind of what you've been looking for, is a label, so that you can say, hey, I'm pagan, or I'm just a witch, I'm a Gnostic witch, agnostic witch. You can say that you're an atheist or something, but there's this battle that's kind of being waged where you don't know what to label yourself, but there's other opinions coming in that are kind of telling you what label you should have, what box you should put yourself in. So that's something, you know, probably to focus on, is just, you don't need a label right now, you know, and especially with what's going on in the world. You shouldn't have to worry about what to call yourself spiritually or religiously. There's no need for you to get so worked up about it, I guess. You know, just you do you. If people have questions, you can answer them and say, I don't know. And that's a good enough answer. Or that you're not comfortable with them. Or no. You know, you don't want to tell them. No is a full sentence. Full stop. And then for the third eye, which is awareness, we have the 10 of Swords. Bit of a graphic card here. Whoops, over here again. So the 10 of Swords, that's like the end to a fight. You know, it's the battle's over, somebody won, and there's definitely some pain after the fact. And with that being your third eye, and, you know, just awareness, it genuinely feels like there's some shit you've seen and you kind of want to unsee it. And not necessarily seen in like an actual visual sense, but more of just, you've become aware to so many dark things recently. So much toxicity and negative energy, and with the way the world is, you know, everybody's kind of running into that feeling of, wow, this is actually what it is. And that's terrible. And that's a really bad feeling. You know, maybe you're seeing how disabled people are being treated, you know, with everybody being in isolation and quarantine. You're seeing how others feel. Or, you know, maybe you're looking at how the government is handling a lot of things, and it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's really stressful, and it's okay to put your health first, your emotional health, your mental health first, and take a step back and just practice some self-care. You know, the news is scary and everything is scary right now, and it's really uncertain and nobody knows what's going to happen. And it's a lot easier to say it than it is to actually do it. But worrying so much right now about the state of the country, the world, even your local community, worrying about it isn't going to change anything other than just make you more anxious and more uncomfortable and scared and stressed. So take a step back, breathe, definitely take a breath, and focus on yourself for a minute. You can do that. And that's okay. Nobody will be mad at you for it. Now, for your throat chakra, which is communication, it's all about how you communicate, how you sound, how you present yourself to others. We have the Ace of Wands. And aces are always an opportunity card. They're kind of a new beginning, fresh start, kind of clean slate style card. Or it's really just an opportunity you're being handed. And wands they're the fire element, their creativity, their passion. So really here for your throat chakra, it seems like you are just booming when it comes to how you communicate with others. You've found your ground and you've found your voice and you are learning how to communicate effectively. And the big thing that I'm getting, like it's just this image in my head, is you're learning how to say no and how to back up that no and not let others push you around. And that's great. Definitely make sure that you're not being mistreated and walked on and used as a doormat by others. And the fact that, pulling the Ace of Wands for your throat chakra, it really is just you found your voice and you are learning how to use it. And the only advice that's coming with that is just make sure that you're moving at your pace. Don't get complacent. Don't go overboard. You know where your line is, but it's also really easy to cross that line when everybody's crossed your line before so many times. Okay, that's kind of everything I'm getting for the throat chakra. Next we have the heart, which is about love, self-love, relationships, and healing as well. Generally like healing from trauma, emotional pain, mental pain, which is the Page of Chalices. And the way that the image is depicted here is, this is where I'm getting a lot of the self-love feeling from, because, with this card, the page is providing nourishment for the flying fish. And that's just something that you need to do for yourself too, that I feel like you're not doing a lot of, is you're eating and you're exercising and you're doing all the physical things, but it doesn't feel like you're getting better. And that's because you're not catering to mental health and emotional health and spiritual health. And when you're not able to cater to that energy effectively, then it leads to feeling tired and sad and fatigued and just overall not ready to take on the world like you usually feel. So yeah, definitely going off the last couple of cards here, practice some self-care. Take a day or two for yourself. If that means holding up in your room for a minute and just watching a show, eating something sweet, or if that's going out and taking a walk. If I know everybody's kind of on lockdown right now, but as long as you're practicing that social distancing and you're not, at risk, you can go outside and take a walk around the block, breathe some air, go pick up some nice rocks that you see, bring them home. But take care of yourself, definitely. And then for your solar plexus, which is about wisdom and power. Sorry, I wrote everything down over here, so that's why I keep glancing over. We have the Queen of Wands, and she is a firecracker. The Queen of Wands is really about growth and emerging, like coming out of the cocoon, essentially, as a butterfly. She is always growing, always changing, always adapting to her surroundings, and that really plays into the wisdom and power part, because you know how to adapt and blend in, and that's something that you're still working on, and that's something that the spirits want you to know as well. That's the message that I'm getting here, is that learn to change, learn how to cope with change. Really, it's learning how to cope with change here, because change is going to happen no matter what. The world is changing, the medical field is changing, technology is changing, everything is changing, and you, while you're still young, you are growing and changing as a person. And if you learn now how to cope with change and how to move forward and how to go with the flow, you'll be so much better off later in life, trust me. And then after that, we have the sacral chakra, and we've only got one more after that. So sacral is about sexuality and creativity, and I'm feeling that that's a lot of kind of how you perceive yourself physically as well, which that's the Page of Pentacles. And the fact that we've got page cards here when it comes to, kind of the internal feeling and view and just the emotional part of it. Having the Page of Pentacles is also like the way that it's kind of depicted here. And this is the vibe message I'm getting, specifically from this card, is to continue to nourish yourself and to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like, that's a huge part of it, especially with, sacral being about creativity as well. Is, you are more than welcome to draw something and enjoy it. You don't have to hate it. Or you can make something, you can make a mug out of pottery, and you can use that mug and be happy about it. You're also okay to look in the mirror and like yourself. And I know you're still young, and it's good that you're seeking this guidance, and because a lot of this is just learn to love yourself. It is okay to love yourself. It is okay to look in the mirror and say, damn, you a fine ass bitch. It is okay to be comfortable in your own skin. And if you're not, then that's just something to work toward. And it's for a lot of people, it's really hard to be comfortable in your own skin, to look at yourself in the mirror and to be fine with it. But you definitely have it in you to get to that point where you love yourself. And this is all just, reminding you to practice that. And then for the root chakra, which is about grounding and trust, it's your base, it's your foundation. We have the 7 of Chalices, and that's 100% giving me the feeling that you are really unbalanced. And with the way that this is, depicted here, flowing water, and there's a snake coming out of one of the cups, you are not in a good place. And you don't feel grounded. You feel like you're drowning. And that's, that's kind of the sensation I'm getting, is just not being able to breathe as well, not being able to keep your head above water. And that's a terrifying feeling, for everything to keep moving and for the world to keep spinning, and you don't know where you belong or how to place yourself or how to just get your feet back on ground. And a lot of that is practicing a lot of grounding techniques, for sure. If you get to a point where mentally you're just kind of exhausted and oh my goodness, where you're exhausted and you can feel that you're like dissociating essentially. Practicing grounding techniques is definitely helpful. Getting outside if you can and just sitting on the yard, feeling the earth around you can definitely help you get back to earth, essentially. Doing little check-ins for yourself, doing a body scan. Body scans are so helpful if you feel like everything's just kind of out of control and you don't feel like you are stable. Do a body scan. See what energy you're feeling, what emotions you're feeling, why are you feeling that energy, and just kind of communicate with each part of your body to relax and to get yourself back in one place. So that's everything that I'm getting when it comes to your energy here among the 7 chakras. Clean these up. The next readings, we had to do were the love life reading and the past life reading. So for the love life, that was specifically oracle that you requested, just kind of what the spirits want you to know about your love life, what reminders they have for you. And I pulled from 3 different decks for that. Just because I felt that these would all kind of give a good message if used together. So the first 2 cards that I pulled were from the moon deck, and that's my inner compass knows the way, and I am the weaver of my reality. So my inner compass knows the way, and I am the weaver of my reality. And that, along with everything else, very, very big feelings of you have the reins and you have the option to say, I don't like this. I don't like being with this person. You have the option to disconnect yourself when you're able to cut ties, oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. To cut ties, to move on. You have the option to say that, this isn't what you want for the rest of your life, and it's okay. It's okay to put yourself on a different path if you don't feel like the one that you're on is good. And that's, a lot of what the spirits are reminding you here is that you can choose what path to take, and you can choose how to diverge from those paths and to do the little, side quests, really, aside from the main quest, and to develop yourself and to grow as a person. You can choose how you go about doing that. Maybe there's set things along those paths that you're inevitably going to run into, but you can choose how to react to them. You can choose how to go forward. And that's where the next 2 cards from my Isis Oracle deck kind of come from here. Is we have the Queen of Heaven and proper burial for freedom. So the Queen of Heaven, the Divine Empress of the Skies, acknowledges your feminine authority now as a man or a woman. You have a life path of spiritual leadership to bring qualities of mercy, compassion, and wisdom into the world. And then for the proper burial for freedom, there is nothing to be gained and everything to be lost by trying to hold on to that which no longer serves us. Osiris, Lord of the Dead, guides you now to release that part which no longer needs to be part of your life so that you may be free. And again, that's really, really just letting go of what you don't need. Do the Marie Kondo thing where it's, does this bring you joy? If not, then let it go. You don't need to hold on to negative energy. You don't need to surround yourself with negative people. You don't need to keep that toxicity in your life. And if you're at a point where it's not safe to let go, just prepare yourself. Get your things together, detach, and when you're in a place where you can safely leave, then leave. You have every right to do that. And some people might not be supportive of that, and those people aren't supportive of your happiness. And they're also people that you should probably let go of. Or talk to, I would say let go of, but, you know. And then the final card we have is the Chameleon Spirit, which that was pulled from my Spirit Animal Oracle. So the Chameleon Spirit, chameleons are all about just kind of blending in and also, you know, going with the flow. And you know, Chameleon Spirit says to act as if. And a lot of that I'm feeling because of how they blend in, because of how they change so quickly, is learn how to talk the talk, and eventually you will walk the walk. It's a lot. If you fake confidence, eventually you'll be confident. If you fake that bravery, eventually you will be brave. You will embody that feeling that you've been pretending to hold, that you've been pretending for so long. And that's definitely, you know, most of what I'm getting here when it comes to your love life is you might not even know what your path is, but if you stand tall and you keep your chin up and you act like you know what you're doing, eventually things will fall in place and make much more sense. And you'll be able to actually move forward with your life and make the, you know, make better decisions, I guess I should say. So that was the oracle regarding your love life. And then the last question you asked was about your past lives, which for that I pulled the Spirit Song Tarot. 5 cards. And this one, and kind of what I asked here was, you know, what did you bring with you from past lives to this one? And what is something that you need to remember in this life to help better yourself and to get you closer to that ascendance, that higher power, that nirvana, you know, whatever you believe in, if you believe in reincarnation or not, you know, just how to best get you to your peace and your paradise. So I'm getting a lot of creativity here, and it's a great feeling because it's a lot of physical creativity. It's, you know, singing and dancing and making things with your hands, you know, painting, writing, even if it's something more techie, you know, coding, making a website, making a game. I'm feeling a lot of creative vibes here from you. And that's where I'm kind of getting the Ace of Shells from. And shells are cups. You know, these ones have different kinds of suits. So shells are cups, and aces are always, you know, really an opportunity card, fresh start card, like I've said. And here the Ace of Shells is just happiness and abundance. And I feel like what you've brought back with you from another life is just the opportunity to do better, the opportunity to find happiness, the opportunity to kind of bring creativity and, you know, ideas to others, and to show people how wonderful of a person you are, and also to learn from those people as well. Because something that you struggled with for sure, and you probably still do struggle with even, it's just, which this is from the Moon card, is perspective and your perception of things. And this just kind of warns, you know, not to be so dead set on one specific path, one specific idea, to open your mind and open your heart to new ways of doing things, you know, better ways of doing things, easier, new hobbies you can pick up, new people you can meet, to just make sure that, you know, you've looked at the other choices before going with your first choice. You know, first choice isn't always best choice. First thought isn't always best thought. And it's good. It's a good idea to research your other options and to see exactly what you want to do. And if you don't know what you want to do, you know, to explore. And that's where the Page of Feathers is coming in, to explore those options, to, dip your toe, test the waters, and discover those new things that maybe you didn't think you would enjoy, that now you're crazy about, all about it. Go online, watch those YouTube videos that, maybe interest you a little bit, learn about astrology and divination if that's something that you've been nervous about, or, if you've wanted to make a game or you want to write a story, to test that. And there's so many ways that you can go about doing these things that you just need to keep an open mind and to know that there are other options. And they're all overwhelming, but, you can definitely explore and, kind of take a taste of everything and see what best fits you. And then we also have two crystal cards, which is, the Three of Crystals and the Page of Crystals. And this is part of where I'm getting like a huge, physical creativity from. Just, the doing things with your hands is, Three of Crystals is, collaboration and productivity. And then the Page of Crystals is like, ideas and discipline. And even though crystals are more of a physical manifestation, like a wealth card because they are the pentacles, I also feel that this is about just birthing new ideas and bringing your creative energy to the world and showing people that there's more to life than, the news and all the sadness and the attacks and everything that's going on, that there's still ways to express yourself in a healthy manner. And I feel like that's what you've been doing a lot with those people around you, is that you've been showing how to express yourself in a constructive way, and you've been teaching them how to do it. And that's amazing that you've taken on that task to, show others that there's more than just being angry and the silent treatment and the cold shoulder. And there's also more than just watching TV, writing, journaling, drawing, painting, making something out of pottery or clay. There's so much that you can do. And the fact that you can bring that creative light to those in your life is an amazing thing. It definitely helps them, and I know it helps you too. But, as the other readings have said, the energy reading, learn to take care of yourself as well. Make sure that even though everybody else might want your help, you can't help anybody if you're not feeling well. You need to help yourself first. Okay. So that's basically that. I hope you enjoyed these readings. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns. If things seem off the mark, then just let me know and I can refund you. Totally fine. Or if you need, more explanation on something, different interpretation, I'm happy to help you. And to those others that are watching this, I go by Goblin Guidance on Instagram and Shopify, and I will link those in the description if you want to check those out. I do, $5 card readings right now. I'm also working on scrying, rune casting, just meditation. So if you have anything you want guidance on, any readings you want done, any questions you have, you're more than welcome to reach out. We can discuss prices. But right now everything's just $5, just because, of the circumstances, the situation of the world right now. I know everybody's struggling with money, so stay safe. I love you. You are cared for. You are appreciated. And I hope you have a magical and peaceful rest of your day.